Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Propagandacast, a 2 versus 2 today, and boy do I have a treat for you. Most of these players are in fact rank 16 chaps, that is, except one, and I'll leave it up to you to figure out who's the deceiver, who's the chap who's not as probably high ranked as the others, and who of course should be shot for daring to mingle with such high-ranking players. Of course, that's all nonsense. Of course, still they are 3 high-ranking 16-ranked players, of course, meaning we'll at least get some competence right here in a 2 versus 2. Of course, we'll have some rather good things actually to notice, to point out, and of course, we'll get to that. Of course, Le Rail du Métal is of course a somewhat interesting map. Of course, this building being the primary point of focus, with all this area in fact tending to be there again, these sort of things are most going on. And yes, I'm doing a bit of an intro. This building being able to cover not 1 but 2 victory points and a fuel point, thus making this a very damn important. Of course, there's also a barn here, but that only covers 1 victory point. Perhaps a bit of a fuel, you know, not quite as important, you know. Bit of a silly barn it is, plus it's not very structurally sound. Will collapse basically if someone sneezes, that is, if a tiger sneezes and of course fires a high explosive shell. Minor difference there. And of course there's also a fuel point there, and generally sort of open, not too much with a sort of choke point, so of course that means we've got a nice bit of maneuvering. Of course some players will of course try to fortify this with barbed wire, tank traps, not sandbags very often, but of course we'll have to see how this goes on. And of course who will be fighting? Well, here in the southern corner we are seeing Alt to, oh bloody hell, we'll just call him Alt, the Alte Hase, which means the old hare, which, if I'm not being mistaken, this is fuck ally Spam, and we'll just call him Spammy. Yes, indeed, Spammy the spam lover. Just a bit of irony, fighting for the Wehrmacht combined. These two shall make the 2nd Panzer Division, combined in a last-ditch effort in an attempt to ensure that St.Lo is not overrun by the Allies, who are combining, making the 1st Armoured Division with Eoghanact 2 and Illrage, or I'll rage, either he'll rage, of course, as a sort of threat, or I'll go Hulk, or something similar, perhaps some other color. And of course either that, or he's sort of got some sort of disease that makes him raging, or he's sick while raging, or I don't know, something where rage and vomit. But we'll go right to the fight. Indeed, we'll of course have to see how this goes out. Will one of them go for support? Barracks there, and a barracks. No, we are in fact seeing a sort of dual barracks start, of course, meaning good aggression from the Americans. Good idea already there. Kincaid, of course, heading out. There's not much there, and of course the Panzer can't really choose a support role. Not only, of course, they are completely and utterly daft and possibly drunk, but no, sir. Yeah, Panzer Grenadiers on the way. Of course, it's a bit harder to gauge with the Wehrmacht. Wehrmacht quarters up, both pioneers focusing that down. Kettenkrant apparently focusing highly on the east. A bit of a long road, you know, not securing all of these resources right there. That might already be a slight problem, but you know, again, they are certainly focusing at this point, which again is a very important point, or at least a very strategically sound point. Of course, it can also sort of lead to a bit of tunnel vision, where sort of players only see this area, and then everything else is sort of, oh wait, I suppose there's something going on there. And of course, where focus, of course, we can't see, because either the chat will probably, you know, sort of pointing it out while there. Of course, I imagine he'll say, well, it's right there, Mr. Illrage, or Illrage, or Projectile Rage. Rifleman, of course, hitting out. Good start so far. Engineers securing what they can in a slightly more orderly fashion. MG42 moving in, of course, probably take up positions there. Panzer Grenadiers moving into support. And of course, Christianis will be seeing a sort of support move right here from the early Wehrmacht. Of course, that could easily end up leaving the Panzer Grenadiers to do most of the fighting, which of course is, as we've discussed in previous games, perhaps not entirely the brightest idea, of course, since that means he'll be suffering much more heavily, of course, meaning he'll much sooner get drained out, and thus leaving all the fighting to the Wehrmacht player, of course, with having gone support, won't be quite as useful. But securing what they can, we are seeing a bike now out, no Schwimmwagens from either side. That's dreadful. MG42 setting up, not taking up position right there. Of course, a sneaky assault by the Allies could put something nasty in there. Panzer Grenadiers advancing, supported by the Maschinengewehr 42. Of course, Panzer Grenadier divisions, at least for some forces had it. That would be the motorized, the armored. Panzer Grenadiers will have to rely on half tracks. Of course, the Panzer Grenadiers of the Panzer Elite, of course, armored. Panzer grenades, and there we go. Rifle under heavy fire, being gunned down. Of course, they're holding their own in heavy cover. Nice position there. So allows them to absorb a lot more damage, and of course tie down all these Panzer grenades. Although it looks like already pulling out their Eoghanact. Engineers pushing through there. Pioneers not really able to put up a coherent defense. Bikes sort of moving about. Riflemen pushing through there from all sides. And Eoghanact already rather realizing perhaps I need to get some bloody snipers. Of course, informing his teammate that, oh wait, I'm going snipers. Illrage going, alright. That probably means I need to go for something else. Of course, it's not bad to go support after you've gotten, for example, bags, and of course leaving the other player to get something else. Hopefully he'll have some sort of backup plan, because that'll mean he won't be able to get right away anti-tank assets for himself, of course, unless he goes airborne or infantry. And already beyond fact, we're seeing within a few minutes a medic station up again, knowing that both players will be going right, and he rather figures will probably be producing a lot of wounded. Clever idea right there by Eoghanact, and of course showing he's definitely a high-ranking player. He knows what it's all bloody about, and of course in the meanwhile pressing through with the engineers. Already good aggression. Pioneers need to get out of there. Mr. Spammer lost a Pioneer team, not good. MG42 of course having to pull back. Panzer grenades again doing all the fighting. So far no infantry, all MG42s and a bike. Not looking too entirely good, and of course the Panzer grenades are doing most of the fighting, taking most of the beatings. Comfortable company going up. Riflemen pushing onwards, although they are a bit clumped. Illrage or Illrage. And Illrage it fraps if it doesn't get his act together. But again, you know, don't clump up, in particular, you know, when you know there's MG42s nearby, you know, spread out, don't stand out in the open. Stuff like that, of course, medics pulling in the wounded. Dying in their arms, the wounded are in fact quite horrific for the medics, I imagine, and of course they're getting shot down. Asking for doctrine again, that's another great thing to do, you know, inquiring about doctrines when you're playing 2 versus 2s. You know, what sort of doctrines are you going for, my allied teammate friend? And of course, Eoghanact in this case just saying, well, later I need to assess the situation. I'm probably imagining he's sort of implying, you know, he needs to go know where this is bloody well going before he sort of commits to anything. And again, 4 minutes into the game, who can blame him? Bike pushing forwards, Rifleman pushing on against the full gunners. We're in fact now seeing some infantry out from Spammy. Spam. Yes, let's not get caught away with that. No time for Monty Python. Or is it always time for Monty Python? Who knows? But we are seeing, when I'm not, I mean, this is not an entirely bad idea to, you know, try and cover the flank, but of course the Eoghanact can sort of rush past that, so slightly amok there. MG42s are pressing, Volksgun is getting shot up, not entirely sure again. I mean, you know, don't stand about with the infantry out in the open doing nothing when they're getting fired upon, or at least trying to do something. I mean, at least put down some sandbags before that. Engineers charging the MG42s, Riflemen flanking, and of course forced to retreat. Kettenkrad lost, and let's go have a look at Spammy. Panzer Grenadiers fighting from the old barn, Riflemen flanking up against them further. Panzer Grenadiers might be moving in to support the Panzer Grenadier, hiding in the barn. Last one stand of the Panzer Grenadiers. Pioneers, mortar half-track arriving, MG42 still there. Pioneers moving them out, laying down barbed wire. Good move there. Panzer Grenadiers rather getting shot up. Illrage, and now Eoghanact moving in. Medic station still there. Fuel point being retained. Of course, the machine gun emplacement is nicely able to cover this flank. It's not entirely bad there. And now the Panzer Grenadiers getting surrounded. They might want to get out before it's too late. Retreat. Rückzug. There we go. Further Panzer Grenadiers moving in. Mortar half-track could have moved in. No, it's getting surrounded by Riflemen. Oh dear, and don't move in without support. And already there we are sort of seeing the problem of Mr. Spam, not really having a solid infantry presence. He's in fact leaving it up for his teammate to do most of the fighting. Of course, that's allowing the Americans with most of the infantry to really push forwards. Despite, you know, pushing forwards with MG42 transport, half-track firing away with its mortars, airborne going in from Eoghanact, and of course not a bad idea. Again, he's sort of realizing, you know, I'm probably not going to get any sort of armored bits, so might as well get some airborne and thus provide the allied anti-tank assets for me. And of course if he gets airborne he might be able to do it a bit more swiftly. Panzer Grenadier team was slaughtered rather unfortunately, of course the sniper being quite a nuisance. Verdammte Scharfschützen aus die Yankees, the armies, yes indeed. Rifleman pushing onwards, right into the MG42. Not what I would describe as a clever tactical maneuver. Of course, the sniper, of course, helps, but Illrage, or Illrage, whatever rage, needs to get his bloody Rifleman out of there. Rifleman, on the other hand, getting shot up out in the open. MG42 needs to retreat. The Volksgun is also retreating. Mortar rounds flying in. Center pushing forward right there. Of course, Rage has to pull out his troops. Panzer Grenadiers once more advancing. Sniper sort of mucking about, having a bit of fun in the sun, shooting at the Krauts, the Huns. Grenadiers on the way. No Pack 38 as of yet. No Browning automatic rifles either. And we are certainly seeing a supply yard up. I do believe we might be seeing some airborne dropping in right there, and we are seeing an observation post as well. Coordinating, of course. I mean, if you go airborne, you're probably going to be needing a lot of munitions for strafing runs, bombing runs, upgrades for your airborne, with the coilless rifles, which is rather mandatory. And of course, the medic station is still there, pulling in the wounded. Good job still there, I mean. Certainly very nice to see. Airborne with sniper support advancing. Several snipers so far, I believe. No, just that one. Trias are going up there as well. Rifle moving in from Rage. Wehrmacht forces of the 2nd Panzer Division pushing forwards against the 1st. Sniper sniping the Pioneers. Pioneers running away. Airborne advancing. Panzer grenadiers might want to stop teasing territory and open up. Infantry half-take. Leichte Schützenpanzerwagen. Meant for reconnaissance units. Of course, cases where they could get... Oh dear, a mine hit by that bike. Of course, nice uses of mines. Mortar rounds flying. Mortar half-track not really achieving much so far. Riflemen charging forwards right as the half-track keeps flying away. False grenadiers firing support grenadiers. Getting Panzer tracks preparing themselves for an armoured assault. Interesting enough, that'll probably be the only so far anti-tank assets from the Wehrmacht. Although Pack 38 is moving in. Engineers could get shot up. Airborne moving in to flank. Riflemen out, slightly out in the open. Panzer grenadiers flanking them. Further assault by Rage. Riflemen raging forwards. Grenadiers, Panzer grenadiers, tank buster heavy infantry. In fact, thus giving Alte Herrenhasen or whatever some Panzer tracks as well. Riflemen getting blown up a bit. No bunkers as of yet, though, from the Wehrmacht. I mean, again, lots of infantry. Again, lots of Panzer grenadiers. Might, be a clever idea to, perhaps get some medic bunkers themselves. Grenadiers getting sniped. And recoilless rifle shots banging away at the mortar half-track, forcing that away into a slightly more defensive position, thus giving the allies a bit more protection. My apologies. Riflemen pushing forwards in the east. This is really some good action. Some small attempts here by the Panzer grenadiers. Incendiary grenades apparently having been researched, or perhaps that was some flamethrower engineers catching on fire. Infantry half-track pushes forwards, but of course be careful with the recoilless rifles. Grenadiers clearing out the riflemen. Sniper fire, no attempt at a counter sniper though from Spammy. Spam. Could have been, a clever idea, But there we go. Mortar infantry half-track firing away still. MG42s covering as well, not really achieving much. Again, sort of clumped up, but the further Panzer grenadiers advancing out from the Alte Hasen space. And the Panzer support command is up. We'll be seeing Panzer Force, we'll be seeing Hotchkisses. Will we be seeing Bergtigers? Who knows? Mortar half-track getting repaired by tank busters and the Pionieren. And we are seeing a bunker going up about damn time. And let us go have a look at Eoghanact, who has airborne ready, who has lots of munitions rolling in, who has an upgrade on the way for the supply. And again, clever move, decreases upkeep, and Illrage already also has one. Excellent. And of course, the rifleman team has already been put together. 2 airborne teams ready now. Might be a bit excessive with those airborne, but then again, with all those light vehicles, recoilless rifles are going to be worth their weight in gold and munitions and whatever else they can possibly be weighed in. Panzer grenadiers though getting outgunned by all of the riflemen right here. No Gewehr 43, so actually from Alt. Absolutely not a single Gewehr 43. Absolutely amazing, if not peculiarly weird. I mean, why no Gewehr 43s at all? I mean, they could certainly help, suppress their attackers, suppress the defenders, suppress, and of course give increased firepower. Grenadiers moving forwards, false grenadiers will support MG42 also moving into cover, doing their best. And now, of course, we are seeing a large assault. Engineers breaching at several points. Good move there by Eoghanact. Again, he really seems to have sort of figured out the art of assault. Engineers moving into flank. I mean, this is really a large-scale assault. MG42 actually pulling out as well. This is really looking bad. Grenadiers and false grenadiers on the wrong side of the heavy cover. Again, remember, it's directional. You actually need to be on the right side for it to apply. MG42 setting up. Pioneers hiding in the building. Panzers doing what they can. There's absolutely no support. Infantry half-track. Grenadiers, false grenadiers, everything else moving in. Riflemen pulling away. Most of the Panzer grenadiers are hiding in the base, not looking too well. And engineers charging forwards, getting some... No, they are stealing an MG42. Sneaky that they managed to scorch an MG42 and steal it, nick it. Those damn engineers. Supply drops being inquired by Illrage, and of course they can be gotten by your allies. Of course, not a bad idea. Pioneer team slaughtered. Airborne now moving in with the recoilless rifles now that the half-track has been lured out. And volleys of recoilless rifle rounds flying out. Mortar rounds joining in as well. Have the allies gotten mortars, or is that the half-track? Apparently it's the half-track of the mortar. Medic bunker ready. Wounded being pulled in. MG42 finding way. Airborne getting suppressed. Satchel charge out the building. My goodness. Quite a bit of action. And the MG42 gunners are cleared out alongside a huge chunk of the house. Grenadiers doing what they can. Some though are forced to pull away. And with the MG42 gone, in fact, several MG42s. Oh, they're using an entire Panzer Grenadier team to recruit. That's a loss. You should have let the Fultz Grenadiers or the Grenadiers to do that. That would have been cheaper. Trying to get into the building, and of course you might be getting satchel charge again. Grenadiers and Fultz Grenadiers charging forwards right here. Now the barbed wire right here is of course aiding the allies. More Grenadiers moving in. Airborne charging in against infantry half-track. Getting shot up though. Pack 38 exposed. Grenadiers ready from the medic bunker. Airborne forced away.
Enemy unit.
Half-track though goes up in flames, killing a few Panzer Grenadiers as well as they're ejected. Some scramble out alive, some not quite as alive. Mine hit. Sniper fires at the MG42. Still no counter sniper, no real effort to stop the sniper, who is continuing his tour of death amongst the German troops. Showing that Spam needs to get a sniper, or either that or Mr. Alterhaus needs to get something to deal with that. Perhaps an armored car would do well. Engineers not getting grenaded out of that piece of cover while they're burning the Grenadiers. Perhaps some heavy more veterans would be nice, although we are seeing some veterans. At least Grenadier team needs to evacuate. There we go. One Grenadier, fire away. More Grenadiers running away. MG42 covering the Panzer Grenadiers, firing away with deftness. Not seeing in quite a bit of time. Panzer is advancing there, and we are seeing still a slight attempt at holding the central area, but really they need to be a bit more aggressive in the west. Panzer IV has arrived. Though clearly an older mark, these 2nd Panzer Division apparently a bit lacking in the Panzers at this stage, or at least they haven't, or perhaps this is just more of a scratched battalion put together from alarm companies and replacement battalions, who knows. Medics continuing to pull in the wounded. Of course, this medic bunker will be worth its weight in gold. Medic station certainly also being more mines being laid down. Rifleman again pushing through there. No, it's the Airborne of the 82nd pushing forwards again. Again flanking through here, and of course the defenses are absolutely pierced now, of course making it easier for the Airborne, and there's very little actually covering this area. Panzer IV charging forwards for the fatherland. Let's go have a look at Illrage, or Illrage, and let's just pause briefly. He has a tank depot up, he has tanks on the way, he has apparently picked up some supplies as well. What we like to see if they haven't been dropped in though, who knows. We are seeing perhaps more snipers on the way from Eoghanact, who of course is pushing forwards with the Airborne, doing quite well there, holding most of the map, although not most of the victory points. Of course that Panzer IV will be proving a bit of a problem until say something like a Sherman appears, in which case of course it will be in a bit of a spot of trouble. And what is this? No, that's a light anti-tank half-track apparently being prepared. That could of course be of help, but of course what is the current situation? Currently a bit dicey for the Wehrmacht. The 2nd Panzer Division has been quite beaten about, not entirely able to stabilize a secure position. MG42 has been lost. Sniper continues to roam about, pushing through as much as they can, but they hit mines, they hit everything. And looks like they've actually managed some minor penetration here, but of course they aren't able to catch the sniper. Sneaky fellow that. But again, they are really getting the most out of the mobility, their aggressiveness, and of course the Wehrmacht forces the axis. Of course the Panzer lead, of course, sort of floundering about, the sort of a bit too defensive posture early on, working in the favor of the Allies, and rather now they are able to really attack from as many angles as possible. And of course as good American commanders, they are doing so. But they need to get some proper armor on the way. I mean, either get some Stuke, some armored cars, or get some Panzer IVs, but really Spam might also want to get a sniper, really get some armor and secure those areas, get some mines up, and of course ensure that this area is secure in some way. Again, lay down fresh barbed wire, perhaps some mines, you know. Mines are nicer here this time of year. But again, with tanks on the way from Illrage, of course they'll be doing quite well, and of course might be able to catch the Axis with their Panzers down. Yes, indeed, still using that terrible pun from that American propaganda poster. Pack 38 ready though, but then again could be outflanked and dealt with in nasty manners. But let's return to the fight. And spotting the sniper, but of course, will there be anyone to deal with that? Grenadiers get sniped. Grenadiers not dealing with them, or will they? Further Grenadiers advancing. Sniper tries to snipe, but no dear, he's getting shot up. Shut up, Grenadiers, and there we go. Will they stop up and shoot him? No, they actually move. Wait, there we go. Sniper. No, he makes it out of there. And the Panzer IV advances, upgraded fully. Not entirely sure on that. Upgraded machine gun right there. It rarely does anything. It's mostly the Stug and the Geschützwagen that actually gets anything out of that. Sherman ready. Rifleman getting absolutely torn apart. Need to retreat. Run away. Apparently some supplies are getting dropped right there. Of course, I know where it is. Of course, I do believe Illrage actually doesn't actually get about to it. And I do believe he actually marks it up. His nice friend right there, though. And we are seeing a serious assault right through the center. Rifleman engineers. Another rifleman team ready. Sherman moves forwards. Panzer IV blasts away. Pack 38 in no manner. Wait, there we go. Pushing forward. Perhaps they have already spotted the Sherman. Riflemen doing their best to move forward. Perhaps get a sticky bomb off on that Panzer IV. But the riflemen are simply getting blasted to bits out in the open. 50 caliber on the Sherman. That's actually quite useful. Grenadiers trying to take a point there. Coming under fire from the Sherman. Both central points are taken. We are seeing Allied War Machine, which of course means he'll be going Calliope. I imagine no Pershings, sadly. Could probably have helped in a direct assault fashion, but still Calliope can do well as well. Further Grenadiers being pushed forwards by Spammy. While, oh dear, I mean, Althasen is rather doing a bit of a mistake right now there. He's playing incredibly defensive with the Panzer League. He's not trying to push through here, you know. Instead, of course, they are allowing the Allies to amass a huge force and, of course, attack from as many angles as possible at this point there. And, of course, the Panzer is in a bit of trouble. Rather than they are getting shot up. So that was one team lost right swiftly. And I do believe this might be the signal for the assault. Strafing run being inquired about, but perhaps might that be ready. Panzer X flying at the Sherman. Not quite hitting, actually. Airborne moving in. Flanking. Fallschirmjägers called in from the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Regiment. Anti-tank half-track perhaps with focused fire. Perhaps hoping to sort of disable the treads. And there we go. Fallschirmjägers firing away at the airborne, showing who's the true paratroopers. Immobilized Sherman. Panzer is moving in. Panzer IV not moving in to assist the Fallschirmjägers in dealing with the airborne. That could actually have done quite well. Clumping up in a huge... Oh dear, if the strafing run goes in now, this will be a huge blow to the 2nd Panzer Division as they move forward. All combined Panzer Grenadiers and less Panzer Grenadiers as opposed to just Grenadiers. Further airborne dropping in. Or just reinforcements. Sherman could be knocked out. Destroyed the engine as mine goes off. And we are seeing Allied War Machine immediately replacing it. Fire away. Airborne moving forward. The Grenadiers are mostly forced away. This was an ill assault. Grenades getting flung at the airborne. Doing absolutely nothing and pulling away. Again, lack of anti-sniper business. 2 snipers on the run now, actually making it much more lethal and dangerous. Fallschirmjägers blasting away. Shooting up riflemen, airborne, whatever they can actually get away with killing. And then getting dropped by the snipers. Those damn snipers. Forward barracks now up here, of course, allowing reinforcement and healing. Due to defensive operations, a very nice ability. And the assault still keeps pushing onwards. Finally, we are seeing Spam going for the Panzer Command. We are seeing a Panzerjäger Command up. Might be seeing Marder Freeze, might be seeing as an attempt at Panthers. And now a Calliope arrives as well. The 2nd Panzer Division defense is absolutely crumbling. Panzer IV pretty much it now. Grenadiers though trying to move forwards. Will they succeed? Forward barracks collapses in a heap of dust and bricks and other bits. And the airborne need to charge as the snipers and the Sherman provide cover, and a Calliope barrage flies over all of this. And of course the clamped up Grenadiers and Full Grenadiers make an excellent target. Bocage goes up in flames, so do some of the Grenadiers. Medic bunker still standing though. Solid German craftsmanship. Possibly. And these Grenadiers are moving a bit too far ahead. These are the most wounded one. Retreat! Oh dear, they could have been taken apart by the snipers, but thankfully that does not seem to happen. It's time to return to Althasen. We're certainly getting ready for the Panthers, who has gone Luftwaffe, but so far has only used the Fallschirmjägers. I can't ever feel that seems a bit of a waste of good Luftwaffe. He could have gone a little bit a lot earlier and thus getting quite a bit of an advantage off. Pack 38 is uncovered. Sherman getting blasted upon, but Pack 38 is probably going to get cleared out soon. Panzer IV doing its best to protect. No Luftwaffe ground infantry technically called in to provide repairs. That could actually be a great idea, you know. Another grenadier team ready. Riflemen moving in, flanking. BARs ready from Eoghanact. Actually, no BARs from Illrage or Illrage. No BAR rage. And Fallschirmjägers and other bits trying to push through here. They were securing what they can. Seems a bit late though. Panthers almost ready. Once more an assault by grenadiers and some pioneers perhaps to move in and repair that. Panzer IV as the riflemen push onwards, hunting it down. Pack 38 recruited by some audacious riflemen. And the Panzer IV blasts away. Sticky bomb might go off. No, the pioneers get killed right in front of it. You know, be careful with where you decide to repair. And now the Pack 38 turns its gaze against the German bunker. Once on its side, it is now the enemy. Snipers protecting. And actually, the Panzer IV gets a sniper. That was a bit unfortunate. But now the airborne are pushing forwards, ready to avenge their sniper friend's death. And the Panzer IV rather decides it's time to get the bloody hell out of there. Panther Battle Group, Panzer V, Kampfwagen, apparently the last the 2nd Panzer Division could muster. They did have some, probably, although mostly Panzer IVs, otherwise I imagine, of some of older mark, of course, like this. Not all Panzer Divisions did actually at Normandy have the Panthers they were supposed to have. They were supposed to have 1 battalion of Panthers, 1 battalion of Panzer IVs. Some did not quite get that. Some only had Panzer IVs, in fact, and some had a bit of a mix of everything. And some had a mix of Stuks and Panzer IVs, and some only had Stuks. Grenadiers advancing once more, doing their best, but getting sniped. Fresh snipers arriving from Eoghanact, not giving up with those snipers. And a strafing run, turning all of this into a mush. Panzer Command is ready, and what are we seeing? We are seeing Knights Crossholders. No Panzers. Just quick look at Spammy. Spammy, and he could have gotten Panzers, but apparently he's not bothering. Not a single Panzer IV on Ostwind. Grenadiers charging forward, to clear out the snipers. Not quite a success. Now, of course, they're out in the open. The Knights Cross moving in. Apparently the most veteran of the 2nd Panzer Division being thrust into the fight. Ostfront Veteranen equipped with assault rifles and all that. Clearly NCOs and all that, or officers or whatever, sort with their caps. And Grenadiers forced away. Knights Cross might want, you know, to deal with those riflemen firing away at them from a flank. And we are seeing Henschel Panzernacker support getting ready. Butterfly bombs as well. Sticky bomb on the Panther, disabling an engine. Other Panther not supporting it. And where is the infantry support for the Panther? And Illrage or Illrage is in fact now bothered to get some BARs. Kettenkrab advances. Panther supporting the Fallschirmjägers, but I mean, Fallschirm perhaps clear out this area. Could have been nice. And now the Knights Cross are forced away. Shut up quite a bit. Still no Panzers on the way, I probably wager. Indeed, more Knights Cross, even though again he could have gotten Panzers, you know. Panzer. The Panzer IV doing its best to keep the Allied hordes at bay. And we are seeing a Calliope barrage at range. Firing away with glee. Riflemen getting torn up by the Panzer IV, but they do get a sticky bomb off. And this side skirt in this case actually does not provide protection. The 2nd Panzer Division has lost most of its footing. Panther pulls out. Panthers in both cases in fact were pulled out. Not looking too well.
200 points. Our supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply. I say again, taking fire.
Panther firing away. Rifleman getting closer. Could get off a sticky bomb. Panther, oh Panther, please be careful. You might be all that the 2nd Panzer Division has left. And the Knights Cross move in undaunted, unsupported. Where's the rest of the infantry? At least where's some armor, you know. A Panzer IV. Huge airborne force with snipers moving in. Panther doing its best. And the Knights Cross move in. Those chaps are just standing about, perhaps providing cover. Grenadiers moving to seize territory. Kettenkrad getting fired upon, not looking well. And we are seeing Henschel Panzernacker support, but oh dear, he made a mistake. You actually have to have line of sight. Of course, a cloak Kettenkrad could have done that, but again, sadly not. Of course, now they can't see anything. Of course, they won't be getting anything. That's 200 munitions wasted. Very important thing again to remember. You actually need to be able to see things for the Panzernaggers to work. And butterfly bombs being dropped in the center. And now we are seeing a huge German infantry assault. Apparently Mr. Spammy Spamster has not learned his lesson, of course, keeps climbing up. And I wait, yeah, strafing right might be inbound. Knights Cross clearing out the airborne. Snipers firing away the Knights Cross. And the Great Charge ahead, forcing all of this away. The snipers running for their dear lives. Making out of there quite a bit of life. In fact, now the Panzer 4 Shermans, I mean. And there we go, the strafing run as expected. Pinning, killing, doing quite a bit of damage, of course, forcing this entire assault into the muck. Panthers move forwards. Shermans advancing. Apparently one even from Eoghanact now having his own Shermans. And the Shermans of Illrage has gotten upgraded. 40 Jägers charging in from the rear lines, but Shermans as well. Shermans everywhere. Oh dearie me. And still not a single bloody Panzer from Spammy Spam. And this area is still pretty much clear, you know. A single flush could easily force the Allies to move away all of their forces from here to there and you spread them out. But again, apparently that never really sort of figured out. Or figured into their plans, who knows, but at least they might be temporarily securing things. But they need to get most of their combat-ready troops out to the front. You know, not hang back. And there we go, another strafing run, pinning down the false grenadiers. Riflemen leading the charge. Panthers providing what cover they can. Panzer 4 might also want to advance. And we are seeing another assault in the east. Riflemen, snipers, Sherman, and lots of airborne moving through the center. Absolutely insane. Still not a bloody single Panzer from there. Tragic. And much too slow in getting his troops up to the front. And airborne getting blasted up. Knights Crossholders dueling with the riflemen. In this case, very unveteran riflemen. Charging in into the trenches. Assault rifles blazing. Slaughtering the riflemen with cold-heartedness. Panzer 4 supporting them as much as can with its high explosive shells. And the riflemen are simply on the run. The Sherman, though, providing cover for the riflemen as they retreat. And a caliber barrage. Still no real... Oh, wait, there we go. Grenadiers with some Panzer Shreks. Sherman could possibly deal with King Tiger getting ready. Panthers knocked out. Another Panzer 4 ready. The airborne with the recoilless rifle being a bit too much. Panzer Shreks flying. The snipers also doing what they can. And another strafing run. For some reason, Spam is not learning his lesson. Although he might be able to get in a King Tiger soon. Again, a Panzer a lot earlier would probably help a lot more. But no, but there we go. Königsjäger apparently having been able to call in some heavy assets from high command in a desperate attempt to turn the tides of American darkness. Kenkrad for some reason cloaking out in the middle of everything. Panzer Force, Panther. The 2nd Panzer Division's front is completely collapsing, crumpling along all lines. Desperate actions by tanks and Panzer Grenadiers in an attempt to stem the flow. Recoilless rifles turning everything into a desperate nightmare, though. And the King Tiger advances. Panzer 4 nearby, but absolutely no infantry to support it. Tragic, tragic, tragic. And not a single Ostwind either, which could have provided some anti-aircraft cover a lot earlier, you know. Sherman's getting fired upon by the King Tiger. Riflemen advancing. Hoping to get off a sticky bomb on the Königsjäger. Or the Tiger 2. Grenadiers advancing. Rifleman getting shot up right in front by the King Tiger. Grenadiers now moving in. Panzer 4. And a sticky bomb goes off on the King Tiger. Rifleman, though, taking heavy losses by this stage of the war. I pretty much think that's not of great importance. Looks like the last desperate attempt of the 2nd Panzer Division. The Ausklärungsarm arm has rather been shattered. Now this part is doing its last bit in an attempt to do something, but a caliber barrage is turning the last assault into nightmare. Units getting sniped, and there we go. Spam, making a desperate run for it before the Falkendamerie catches up with him. And the King Tiger utterly surrounded. Shermans moving in. Panzer Shreks salvaged from Grenadiers. Sticky bombs. Damaged engine. The King Tiger is left alone, abandoned by its cruel and heartless master. Absolutely tragic. More sticky bombs. More everything at the King Tiger. Immobilized. It is gone. GG. And there we go. King Tiger gone. Tragically. Needlessly. Mines getting hit, and there we go. Game over. A victory for the 1st Armored Division in the face of the 2nd Panzer Division, desperately trying to hold the line, but sadly failing. St.Lo is now rather overrun, so there we go. And of course, what can we learn from this? I mean, we saw rather most of the good things were really from, Eoghanact. I mean, he really had some good things, good coordination, told, answered, of course, where to focus, what doctrine, had a medic station out rather early again. Great job there. Good mining. Uses of snipers. I don't like sniper spam, but still did alright. And of course, partly because again there was absolutely no attempt at stopping him from, spam, or the Alte Hasen. Good uses of armor, although looks like he actually got the fuel there. Good uses of armor. Good uses of infantry, although Illrage could use a bit more cover. That seems to be his one major problem. Had a bit of tendency of standing a bit out in the open. This one did alright, and again the problem also with the Axis was partly they never really bothered into here, with any major assaults, and then they sort of just camped around this area. And of course, as the Panzer fleet, that's pretty much the thing you don't want to do. You want to stay mobile, you want to stay aggressive. Even the Wehrmacht, you're still sort of to be a bit aggressive when you're pushing the Allies, and sadly they didn't do that. They just waited for the Allies to amass a huge force and then punch with all their American fury, thus forcing the Axis lines to simply crumble and buckle, thus forcing them away. And of course, I mean, spam, continued, compounded it, only getting Knights Cross, not getting a Panzer IV, not even an Ostwind, which means, with all this air power being around, would have been a nice change. I mean, it might have shot down, an single airplane, too, might have helped. But sadly, no, and again, no snipers, which could have helped. So again, several problems, mostly from Axis, but again, rather clever buy from Eoghanact, who also kept attacking from several angles, of course, right here, cutting through the barbed wire at several places, thus making for a much harder thing to actually stop. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.